John Legend, Billie Eilish, Phineas. Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues.
Nicki Minaj didn't just stir controversy. She lit a match and tossed it straight into the heart of the music industry. What started as a throwaway Grammy night jab about her Trump connections quickly spiraled into something far bigger, a full-scale rebellion that shattered every unwritten rule in hip-hop. Suddenly, one woman's tweets were enough to make billion-dollar executives, label bosses, and superstar artists go eerily quiet. That silence is what feels most unsettling. Insiders at Roc Nation say leadership went into damage control mode the moment she posted claims of rigged charts, a stolen $200 million deal, and that chilling phrase, sacrificing young ones. Not one heavyweight name stepped forward to deny it. Not Jay-Z, not the labels. No one. Her post hit at exactly 9:17 p.m. Eastern during Grammy night. By midnight, her reach seemed suspiciously restricted. Engagement dipped. Competing artists were reportedly told to keep their mouths shut. Even Trevor Noah's jokes began to feel less like harmless comedy and more like a calculated
Gonna have to start with an exorcism.
Oh
exorcism.
my God!
Damn.
Damn.
What y'all think?
I don't think exorcism. I don't think an exorcism is needed.
I thought maybe a benefit concert. But I also talked.
Donation, definitely. Donation.
Of course, you have to. Yeah, that's the foundation of the start. And then you got to sit down with Gayle King.
The moment Nicki Minaj. The strange part isn't her anger. It's the industry's refusal to fight back. The same system known for crushing critics overnight is suddenly acting like she doesn't exist, as if erasing her is safer than confronting her. When threats don't work, silence becomes a weapon. So the real issue isn't whether she's right or wrong. It's this: what happens when the only person holding the truth is also the one they can't afford to silence? The instant Nicki Minaj pressed send on that first post during Grammy night, the invisible chain of command inside the music business seemed to fracture. What followed wasn't noise or theatrics. It was the eerie quiet that came after. And that silence is the real headline. This wasn't some impulsive outburst or cheap stunt for attention. The timing alone proves otherwise. At exactly 9:17 p.m. Eastern, just as Trevor Noah cracked a joke about her White House visit and cameras swept across a ballroom of celebrities laughing at the empty seat where she should have been, she struck back. Within 90 minutes, she unleashed 23 tweets. Each message grew more pointed, more detailed, more deliberate. Allegations about a $200 million ownership grab, whispers of a Super Bowl snub, claims of chart tampering. And then the phrase that froze everyone, sacrificing young ones. That single line reportedly sent private industry chats into panic mode. Sources say that within minutes, crisis management teams at multiple major labels were...
She feels like blogs and online platforms don't touch what she's saying, and they don't cover all of her words fully because it's Jay-Z and Roc Nation.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have no idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X. And I guarantee you, if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge story.
The reactions. Not to issue statements, not to deny anything, just to watch. That's not strategy. That's fear. This is where the official explanation falls apart. The Grammys, Roc Nation, and several insiders tried to spin it as another Nicki episode, painting her as emotional or unstable, a diva lashing out. But nothing about the posts felt chaotic. They were precise, almost clinical. The photos comparing Aaliyah and Beyoncé weren't random throwbacks. They were time-stamped, contextualized, and paired with captions that hinted at a long-running pattern rather than isolated incidents. Even the numbers told a story. That $200 million figure wasn't guesswork. It lined up exactly with her reported stake in Tidal multiplied by the company's sale price, a calculation only someone with direct knowledge could make with that kind of accuracy. And when she referenced RICO, she wasn't tossing around legal buzzwords. Analysts pointed out that invoking racketeering laws suggests something far more serious than gossip. It implies evidence, documentation, cases that could actually stick. So this doesn't read like a meltdown. It reads like someone laying out receipts. The responses, or more accurately, the absence of them, are what pushed this beyond a routine rap feud. If this were just drama, the internet would be loud. Instead, it went strangely muted. By midnight, Trevor Noah had quietly removed his follow-up joke. Chrissy Teigen's on-air thumbs-up reaction vanished from replay cuts. Even 50 Cent, who practically treats Jay-Z jokes like a hobby, briefly reposted one of Nicki's tweets and then erased it less than an hour later. That kind of retreat doesn't happen by accident.
Well, y'all, Nicki Minaj is back on X, and she's coming for Jay-Z. So in a series of tweets, Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her $100 to $200 million so far. She says, she tweeted,
At the same time, the only voices rushing to defend Jay-Z were smaller bloggers and obvious influencer accounts, the type that suddenly appear whenever a storyline needs polishing. Behind the scenes, though, label chatter tells a different story. The whisper isn't that Nicki's fabricating claims. It's that she's being selective. That what she's posted is only a fraction of what she actually has. The real proof, they suspect, isn't on social media. It's being preserved for courtrooms. Then there's what happened to the posts themselves. Digital analysts notice her engagement metrics sinking unnaturally fast. Likes froze mid-climb. Replies disappeared. Visibility tanked as if the account had been flagged as spam. Yet none of the content broke platform policies. No strikes, no violations, nothing that would justify suppression. Just a sudden, mechanical drop in reach. When asked about it, a Meta spokesperson blamed a temporary glitch, the same vague excuse rolled out during other politically sensitive moments in the past. Read between the lines, and it feels less like a malfunction and more like a phone call from someone powerful. In a business where Rock Nation maintains partnerships across nearly every major platform, that's not some wild theory. That's simply...
Man, RP Takeoff.
That boy died so they could cash in a insurance policy and to cover up the fact that Rock Nation was ripping Megan away from 300. I guess nobody's paying attention to the fact that complete control of Megan Thee Stallion's
leverage at work. The money claims are where this shifts from personal grudges to real stakes. $200 million isn't just a flashy number, it's forensic. Accountants point out that calculating that exact sum would require insider access to Tidal's internal payout structures after the Square acquisition. That's not guesswork, that's paperwork. And the fact that she hasn't filed a lawsuit yet, that suggests she's not chasing a quick settlement. She may be aiming for something bigger, something that can't be solved with a check. Pair that with her detailed accusations about Billboard charts, naming specific dates and rankings that allegedly don't line up with the public data, and this stops looking like an argument between artists. It starts to resemble pressure, not a dispute. Here's the detail that has people behind the scenes genuinely rattled. The total lack of legal pushback. Jay-Z's camp has a reputation for going nuclear over far less. This is a team known for firing off lawsuits at the slightest hint of impropriety. They once chased a blogger for millions over a single rumor about Beyoncé. That's the playbook. Intimidate fast, bury the story, make an example out of someone. But with Nicki, nothing. No cease and desist. No defamation notice. No aggressive statement from attorneys. Just silence from one of the most notoriously litigious figures in hip-hop. To legal observers, that doesn't signal strength. It signals hesitation. Because when someone stays quiet instead of threatening court, it often means they don't want a courtroom anywhere near the situation. If Nicki's claims were empty, the lawyers would already be circling. The fact that they aren't suggests she might be holding material that doesn't just hurt reputations. It could hold up as evidence.